much of our work at that particular time, 37, 38, was construction work, installing the guns. The concrete emplacements and all the buildings were built by civilian contractors to Army specifications. And when they were completed, they handed over. The actual installation of the guns, the weapons, the fire control systems, the engines, was a military responsibility. We had an engineer company in the barracks, an artillery battery. And together we worked and installed all the equipment and the guns, which took up a great deal of our time. In fact, very little time was spent on training at that particular point. There was some training went on, but most of it was installation work. The methods used in those days, which are quite interesting to engineers, were rather primitive from today's engineering. Mostly skidding, rollers, hydraulic jacks, and hand-operated gantries. But of course there was a railway track on Rottnest, which you're no doubt aware, aren't you? And the railway track was built to transport the contractor stores, the heavy equipment and the guns. It was the most cheapest and efficient way of doing it, because there was no extensive road system on Rottnest in those days. And the railway consisted of old second-hand rolling stock and rails recovered from the abandoned naval base site. So it was a very cheap and efficient means of transport of material. And that played a very important role. It wouldn't be today to build a railway, but it was in those days. It was much more cheaper and efficient. And of course you must remember that there was not the modern earth moving and civil engineering equipment that you've got today. You've got to project yourself back into that period. And the railway was the prime means of moving the heavy equipment and the guns onto the sites. And of course the railway was operated by military personnel.